I saw you getting ready to go. It's connecting.
Today is Monday, November the 20th, 2023, and it is 6:33 p.m. We're going to ask you to please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Councilwoman Downey, would you lead us in prayer tonight?
Dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful for another day, another opportunity to say that. God, we invite you into this meeting, God, and you be glorified that we do the right things according to your will and your purpose. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Moving forward, item number 2, approval of minutes from the meeting on November 6, 2023. Council, is there any unreadiness? With yours to approve minutes. The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Those that oppose you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Moving forward to item number 3, review and approve the current bill list. Council, is there any unreadiness for discussion?
I make the motion to approve the current bill list. Second.
The motion is properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Those that oppose you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Moving forward to item number 4, council appoints and swearing in Meyers, Copeland. Let's take a vote. So council, this is Ann Meyers Copeland. She is a resident of District 5, and she has, I got received a nomination from Councilman Trost to put her on the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'd like you guys to take a vote. I'm going to let you know that after you take the vote, I will be approving her to be on the Planning and Zoning Commission. So is there a motion?
I make the motion that we ask you to be on the Planning and Zoning Commission. So
The motion is properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. Come on up. Meyers Copeland,
I, Ann Meyers Copeland,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland
and I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment,
and I will to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of Planning and Zoning Commission
of Planning and Zoning Commission
for the City of Pocomoke City,
for the City of Pocomoke City,
according to the constitutions
according to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and laws of the state.
Congratulations. This is being administered by and subscribed for me this 20th day of November 2023. Would you sign this? Thank you. And Mr. Brady will speak with you after the meeting. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you for allowing us time to get ourselves together. Now we're moving on to item number 5, council approval of the speed bump pilot program.
I'll make the motion that we approve, Chief Hancock's, speed bump, pilot program. I'll second the motion.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor, use the sound aye. Those that oppose should have the same right. So move, thank you. Moving forward to item number 6. Public hearing and adopt resolution number 588, declare police cars as surplus property. Second. Right. To number 588, a resolution of the mayor and council, Pocomoke City, Maryland, declaring certain properties as surplus. Whereas the mayor and council have determined pursuant to section C-24-47 of the Code of Pocomoke City, Maryland, that certain properties owned by the city are no longer needed for public use and have therefore agreed to dispose of it. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved by the mayor and council of Pocomoke City, Maryland, that the 2012 Dodge Charger and the 2008 Ford Crown Victoria are no longer needed for public use and is hereby declared surplus property. Be it further resolved by the mayor and city council of Pocomoke City, Maryland, this resolution shall take effect from and after the date it is approved by the mayor. Today is November the 20th, 2023. We will now move forward into our public comment section. If you have a comment concerning this surplus, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and please provide the clerk with your address before the meeting. Okay. This is a comments from the audience. Council, is there any discussion?
That's why where these cars are surplus.
Certainly. The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor, use the sound aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved, thank you. Moving forward to item number 7, public hearing and adopt ordinance number 462, zoning map amendment for 823 2nd Street for Be More Beautiful Property LLC, second reading. Mr. Randy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Would the council prefer me to read the ordinance first or go right into the public hearing? This is an ordinance amending the Pocomoke City zoning map where section 4-201 land use article of the Maryland Code provides the Maryland municipality the power to amend zoning regulations and boundaries. And whereas Pocomoke City has received a zoning map amendment request for the property owned by Be More Beautiful Properties LLC located at 823 2nd Street, Pocomoke City, Maryland, and recorded among the Worcester County land records at Lever 8633, folio 0239, and shown on the tax map for Worcester County, Maryland as number 4019845, tax account number 01016-083. Whereas Be More Beautiful Properties LLC seeks to rezone the aforementioned parcel from R2 to R3 in order to utilize the property in improved structure for multifamily housing. Whereas the intent of the proposed rezoning is to rehabilitate the structure on the property to a 2-family dwelling, Whereas the Pocomoke City Planning and Zoning Commission met on September 27, 2023, and voted to deny rezoning, issue a findings of fact outlining why the property should not be rezoned. And whereas the mayor and city council do not adopt the findings of fact of the Pocomoke City Planning and Zoning Commission, the mayor and city council adopt the September 21st, 2023 Pocomoke City Planning and Zoning Department staff report and independently find that it is in the interest of the city to permit the rezoning because of the property's proposed amendment in relation to the local jurisdiction's plan, because of a substantial change in the character of the neighborhood where the property is located. Whereas a public hearing on the zoning amendment is held on Monday, November 20th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall. After the first reading was conducted on November 6, 2023, said notice of public hearing was published in at least one newspaper of general circulation in the local jurisdiction once each week for 2 consecutive weeks, which said notice specified the time and place in which the mayor and city council of Pocomoke City will hold a public hearing on the proposed rezoning. Now therefore be resolved that the mayor and city council of Pocomoke City, pursuant to state law and the Pocomoke City Code, hereby section 1, approve the rezoning of 823 2nd Street, Pocomoke City, Maryland, from R2 to R3, section 3, should be, I believe, section 2. Further, that the zoning map of Pocomoke City shall be updated to reflect the approved zoning.
Thank you. We'll now turn to our public comment section. If you have any comments, please come forward, state your name, and please give your address to the council meeting.
Mayor and Council, for the public record, I have 4 documents that will be submitted as exhibits. Which the mayor and council, they should have received already as PDFs. One would be the notice of decision.
I have one question. Why were these particular documents submitted with this council packet?
I believe they were sent electronic.
No. Why they weren't in this package? Or at least they're not in the packet at all yet.
I have extra copies of 4 signatures. You like the copies now, but
Okay, so we have to do better. When exhibits are going to be handed out, you must make sure they are submitted with the council packet. Because on the spot, looking at documents on the spot does not give the body enough time to make an informed decision.
understood. So the 4 exhibits would be the notice of decision, planning and zoning commission meeting minutes, the staff report, and then the exhibits provided by the applicant.
They've got the minutes. I have that.
That is happy to review the staff report, or if you'd like to turn it over to the applicant, let him make his presentation. I'd be happy for follow-up after that.
It's in here.
Yes.
Including capital.
I got both. My name is Martina Blake. I'm a local control banker. I'm the representative for the applicant. I actually made the application for him, and he's allowing me to speak on his behalf. Okay, so pretty much based on my findings, based on the facts that I found on the property at 823 2nd Street, we believe this property was built as a duplex. Not only that, it actually serves the community better for this property to be zoned as R3, based on affordability and homelessness in the area. Our findings based on Worcester County building code is that this property meets all the criteria for a duplex. So it meets the frontage for it. It has the multiple driveways and separately metered electric wise, and it meets the size, square footage size. So when you look at the building code that the county has put in place, this property meets all standards and all criteria. This property was, as we all know, used as a duplex in the past, not due to any of our faults. Some of those records a long time ago got lost. So we don't know exactly how it was intended, but when you look at the evidence, the structural evidence is there. There is no way that it would have had access on the first floor to the second floor without using the external entrance. So based on that, we believe that it should remain a duplex, go back to a duplex based on our findings. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Are there any more comments?
Yes, I would like to read an email from one of the,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Read the email once you open it up to us, please.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. My name is Dr. William Johnson. I stand on the same position that when I purchased the property, the intent is to provide affordable housing for families in this area. I understand that, and I'm an educator. I know that housing cost of rent is a problem based on the size of this property. None of my students that I deal with, their families will not be able to maintain this particular property. I just would thank, the council and the mayor for the opportunity to rehab the property in the manner that it was intended. It lost its status and based on the minutes. So I'm not asking to do anything that wasn't already in place. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Are there any more comments from the audience? Council?
Yes, I'd like to read an email, from one of the residents in District 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a 3rd District resident. I live at 216 Walnut Street. I'm writing to ask that you deny the request by Be More Beautiful Properties tonight to rezone 823 2nd Street to R3. As a homeowner of a single-family home very near the 2nd Street property, I am vested in making sure that the city works to improve property values in our city. There should be no debate that single-family homes turned into apartments degrade property values and do nothing to better a small town such as ours. I was aware when the city made the change to not allow any more single-family homes to be altered into multifamily homes and was relieved. My fear is if you allow this rezone to occur, more requests will follow. As a homeowner of the old home, the Clark House, I know all too well it is hard to keep up for the next generation of owners, but it is working. Please do not look at this request singularly, but rather to the city as a whole and the next council members faced with similar requests. I apologize, my job keeps me from attending tonight, so I had to make this request via an email. Keep up the good work, John Haney. Thank you.
So my only comment about Mr. Haney's letters, let's have with me of the actions. I understand his points, but again, he does not live near that address.
You might have a property there.
Hmm.
You might have a property.
No. He said that he lived here. He said he lived. He doesn't live near that address.
Like to state my thoughts on that, if I may. I attended the planning and zoning meeting where this was first brought up. And, I've done a lot of thought. As I always do with everything that I vote on. And I, would like to put my stance, against this proposal in favor of the planning and zoning commission's finding that evening. I do believe they were back with their decision on denying the request. So my vote this evening would be to support the planning.
I too agree with, I was at the planning and zoning meeting and there was a lot of discussion. And we do believe that, based on, and forgive me because my memory is not as good as some of yours, but it was my understanding, the property had been vacant for a number of years, maybe 10 years. And, planning and zoning code states that if a property has been vacant for more than 6 months, it cannot revert back to the previous zoning. So I too am standing with the Planning and Zoning Commission in denying this request.
Is there a motion? There's a motion. It stands still, or you can make a motion to deny.
I make a motion that we deny the request. I second that motion.
The motion has been properly moved and made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right.
Nay.
I would just say real quick that I think there was some, when the first time it came up, there was some confusion as to like who was on first time involved with eating. And since we have new members on planning and zoning, since all this in place, we have 2 members that just proven, they could be brought back to their attention if they're, there's more eyes on that. I think it could be a resolution, but, that's for now, I say,
Mr. Johnson, you can give comment, and no, you have to give comment in the public comment section. So, thank you. Moving forward to item number 8. Public hearing and adopt resolution number 585, creation of an arts committee. Whereas the municipality recognizes the importance of promoting and supporting the arts within our city. And whereas the establishment of the Arts Committee will provide a platform for fostering creativity, cultural enrichment, and community engagement. And whereas the municipality aims to enhance the quality of life for its residents by encouraging artistic expression, supporting local artists, and facilitating arts-related initiatives. And whereas the municipality seeks to establish a committee dedicated to the development, coordination, and implementation of arts programs and activities. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council, the Mayor and City Council of Oklahoma City, that the creation of the Arts Committee is hereby approved and authorized. Number 1, composition. The Arts Committee shall consist of 5 members appointed by Copeland City. The members shall be residents of the municipality and shall possess a passion for all art, culture, and community development. Number 2, terms of office. Each member of the Arts Committee shall serve a term of 3 years with the possibility of a reappointment for additional terms. Number 4, duties and responsibilities. Number 3, duties and responsibilities. The Art Committee shall have the following duties and responsibilities. A, promote and advocate for the arts within the municipality, foster an environment that supports artistic endeavors and cultural diversity. B, develop and implement programs, events, and initiatives that promote artistic expression, community engagement, and cultural awareness. C, collaborate with local artists, art organizations, educational institutions, and community groups to enhance access and appreciation of the arts. D, advise the municipality on matters related to public art, cultural policy, and art-related funding opportunities. E, serve as a resource for artists, providing guidance, support, and networking opportunities. F, seek partnership and funding opportunities and initiatives within the municipality. And G, regularly reports to the mayor and council on the progress, achievements, and challenges faced by the Arts Committee. For the appointment process, the City of Pocomoke shall establish an application and a selection process for the appointments on the Arts Committee. This process shall be transparent, inclusive, and based on merit, ensuring diverse representation and expertise within the committee. 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. We are further resolved that copies of this resolution be distributed to the members of the City Council, Arts Committee, and made available to the public official website and other appropriate channels. We will now go into the public hearing for this. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please come forward, state your name, and you can give your address to the clerk after the meeting. If there is none, I will be the first to speak on this. A couple of months ago, I was touring the Winter Waters Golf Course with some residents, and it was enlightening. What I didn't realize was the shape that Winter Waters was in. But and another thing that I didn't realize was that Frisbee golf is a real thing. And we have a lot of citizens here in this town that are playing like crazy. And they are getting, from young children to elderly people, are getting active by the sport. And so after they finished playing, I watched games and even took a couple of throws. I wasn't good. They told me to come back out there and give it more practice, and I might be some competition, but we'll see once it gets a little bit more. So after the game, we stood and we started talking about things that we could do better in the city. And this was one of the things that they asked. And I told them that I did not have the ability to grant this to them, but I would draft up a resolution and present it to the city council, in hopes that they would support this. We have some great artists in Baltimore, and the Marva Theater cannot be our only source of arts related activities in this town. I think that we need to allow the people to form themselves, and I think we need to give them the opportunity to put in the work. They know funding, they know art. I know about singing and music, but when it comes to painting or some of the other things I don't, I think that this will be a bridge that really brings our community together. I look forward to seeing something like the Community Players of Salisbury, right here in Pocomoke City, partnering with Marva and us taking it to the stage, and while recreation is important, but so are the arts. So that's just my spill on it. Is there any other discussion from you that you'd like to follow?
I'm going to make the motion that we table this at this time until the council has had an opportunity to discuss it. The first I became aware of it was when the resolution was presented, and it was on the agenda, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. And Councilwoman Trost tabled it. We still have not had an opportunity to have our input and to discuss it for that reason I'm requesting the motion that we table.
Yeah, I don't think we did the first reading.
Pardon?
I said, I don't think we've done the first reading. We did last week.
That's not.
And then, should take what we want.
This is actually the space to give your input. It's not a space.
I guess, in my opinion, I'm not against what this is after. My discussion would consist of if this is the best route to get that done. I think these types of things can be a lot more effective if they're not tied to city government, because you just had more red tape to go through. I think the committees we have formed in the past haven't always tell what they're supposed to do or fulfill their obligations, and making committee is nice, but commitment and seeing it through is a whole nother ordeal. And just speaking from like the rec part of it, I think there's a lot of things that would be beneficial if it wasn't tied to the government part of it, and you get more funding and be able for grants and those types of things. And I think it'd be just as effective outside, because I mean, it's not that I'm not willing to work with them on anything that they would need help with. And I would be willing, and I'm sure everyone out there would be willing to assist anywhere that's good. I just don't know if it's necessary to be tied to this.
And I'm in agreement with you. I myself am an artist. I know that Councilwoman Trost is very artistic as well. And we have a vast interest in the arts. And I think this is something that would be very beneficial to our town. However, I'm in agreement with Councilman Holland. I do not think it should be tied to our government.
So then I believe that in this space, that we should get rid of any committee or any facet that improves the quality of life allegedly for the people of this town. I understand what you all are saying, but people are asking for a space for this. And they're asking us, hey, help us facilitate this space. Give us a little leeway. We want to do this. You know, there was a time where Pocomoke was booming, but we had the art shows and things like that. And why did they fall off? Because there was no structure there to hold them together. Us bringing it underneath the city will create a structure to hold it together. And I feel like this is the one committee where I want people to say, when I ask them about it, if they would join it and be active, than any other committee that we have. And you all know, it's like pulling teeth to get people to sign up on these committees. We've been fortunate, past 2 council meetings where we've had 2 people show up and wholeheartedly volunteer, and you didn't have to pull their arm or jerk their chain or anything like that. But I feel like this is the one thing where people are saying, hey, listen, if you do it, if you get it, we'll do it, we'll participate, we'll give back. We want to be there.
Are you gonna do it by districts? Do we appoint? I mean, how are you gonna do it? So you have to have a way to do it.
Well, and I'm not saying I don't want to assist them, I just don't think it has to be to us for, it should get them assistance.
I tend to agree with both Scott and Councilmember Marsh. I'm very much into the arts. All forms and all creativity and all that. I'm self-employed myself. I have different, instead of putting pen, paper, or ink paper, which I have done in the past. And if I wasn't lazy, I still should get trained. I would now students on the clouds. And I do believe that there would be a greater turnout for this type of thing in our city. I know Dan and his staff are very much into the arts. I know several of my friends very much into the arts as far as music and painting and theater and so on and so forth. I think that the idea of us bringing it to the forefront and introducing the idea to the public is a very good start in doing that. But I also agree that I don't see why the city government should be involved or regulated. I think the city would be more than glad to provide an outlet for meetings. We have a clubhouse at Golf that is very welcome to be used. The log cabin is not rented. The city would certainly be on board to allow that for meetings. But I think the general public that has that interest and that desire and that fire under their feet doesn't need city government in the process. I would be more than glad to be on that team. I definitely would participate. I might even offer full design classes as a part of that if it's so needed. I could offer painting classes. I also know how to do that. I just don't think that as a governing body that we should have the regulatory part of it. But be very supportive of that if it was established.
And I believe that Kara Lacey's working on a grant right now for one of our real of some sort. So I think there's such a thing, if somebody sees, if it get to us, I'm not sure what Richard's working with that comes, so the questions coming asked. And then people, see the light on how to get involved. But like I agree with everybody, there will be wanting and needing and all that kind of things, and people have interest. And I remember at the library meeting, or I believe we had at the library, county, everybody, about a month ago. Town Berlin was there speaking, some members of Town Berlin, and they were speaking, and they emphasized on the importance of arts in the community. They had I think it was Berlin, they had some kind of big painted sculpture. There's one of the first investments of like expensive dollars on it. They talk about how the interest and conversation in town. So I can see, where it's going to be, but
And I do believe that both Berlin and Ocean Pines, and you can correct me, you should know, are not governed by the city, or the city government. Or aren't they an identity on their own? Yeah.
I'm not familiar with what they have, so it's the King Forest Council.
Yeah.
Worcester County Parks Council.
Ocean Pines isn't government.
Or,
Can I,
start with come forward.
I think it's a great idea. And I think it's something that, I agree, sometimes you can have too much government, when the government should be involved and when it shouldn't. But I think to give them a start, there could be some sort of happy medium that, you know, the city of Pocomoke can help you get off the ground, just as when I lived in Ocean Pines, when the Ocean Pines players started many months ago. It was the HOA, Ocean, that sort of gave them the spot. Gave them the avenue to get it off the ground. And I think, as we all know, once they got off the ground, it's fabulous stuff. Fabulous stuff. I'm not really impressed by the talent that comes out of there. And we have talent here in Pocomoke as well. And when I went to my tourism meeting on this past Friday, mentioned to the commission that it was on the table as a resolution, and we were all hoping that it would pass. And that, I'm not gonna get quoted on this, but there is the channel for this arts committee to be certified and be ready to get the grants. That way it would come apart from the city. Like I said, they just need a starting point. And I'm not into grant writing or anything like that, but I wonder if there was the arts committee, in order to get grants, would the city have to, okay, it's,
There's some grants that the city will be available for, and there's some grants that we're not, the government's not available for, there's a 501, what is it, the 501?
okay, that was, I didn't know if they had to play any part on one grant versus the other grant or something
I
like
like
that.
this, we're working with, Carrie Lacy working on one of them, and, we'd be willing to help them with the property or whatever, to have the meetings and all that kind of stuff, I mean.
Okay, well, I just want to put out there as far as the Worcester County Citizen Advisory Committee. That when we meet, this was a topic of consideration, hoping that the council would pass this. And we still have hopes that it will be passed and that the city would at least start the conversation to at least give them a boost. If it's, you know, we can give 6 months, we can give a year, we can do what we can to get you off the ground, like Ocean Pines Players was given. And their success is the only thing that I guess I'm really asking, that we've got it, we just need a push. And any kind of help that we can give them, I think we should, or until we're comfortable, or they're comfortable, that they can do this on their own by performances, shows, whatever the case may be, or ticket sales. Just need a home. That's my own.
Maybe this would be an avenue to take, instead of us turning it down tonight or voting against it or for it. Table it and put it out on our social media and on our city website, that we are seeking people or individuals that are interested and get their input on this. Sort of like a study, to find out actually who is interested.
I think that's very fair, I think it's fair.
Because, I mean, I'm all for it, I just don't know that the city needs to go.
I to a degree, I certainly agree with you there. You know, I have to think of, you know, the county has, you know, arts council or committee, the state obviously has, you know, an arts council, so. City of Salisbury, I believe, has something along those same lines, so we're not saying that. Yeah, it's not saying that the city of Pocomoke is gonna be in charge of blah, 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 blah. I think the best avenue is strike a happy medium and just give them a little lift. It's my understanding in Chrisville, and I don't know all the details. But someone who's interested in this and be participating in it said that there are grants that Chrisville gets for the arts,
Chrisville gets,
but they're tied to the number of tourists. But I'm sorry, I don't know the details on it. You may know more than that.
there's so,
But I think that there are many opportunities for this. I think that the awareness because of tonight and the discussions that are taking place, that it will open the door and Councilwoman Trost's idea of putting it out on Facebook and asking, who's interested and you all form your own little commission and we provide, well, whomever.
we're just trying to look at it on this, or I think it would be said, I think it's great.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I think that's a fair assessment to, put it out there and see what we do.
And I have to say, I hate to say that I always bring up Annapolis, but it started years and years and years ago. There was a arts festival in Annapolis, and it was very tiny. And it grew and it grew and it grew, and it outgrew the downtown Dodge area. And it was every June, and everybody always waited for it. Father's Day presents came from that festival, and it just grew and grew and grew. And I think that it's very beneficial. I think it will draw people here, not only artists, but people coming for whatever the events are. But again, I don't think it should be tied to the government, but I think we should support it, and that's what
Yeah,
I think is all agreed.
yeah, I see where you're coming from, I get that, I guess. Something new and to encourage them and to just uplift them, 100% probably not.
We have unbelievable artists, and I think your mom can just do it.
There are in many facets.
Oh my gosh, I'm
The same in the acting, but we have met up and
unbelievable artists, and I think that there's a lot of people who would want to be involved in it and would have great ideas, and so I don't think that they should be squashed, but again, it's not something that should be regulated by the.
So I don't think anybody is really saying regulated.
I never submitted anything said for us to regulate it. We don't regulate. anything.
Yeah, the regulated, I see what you're saying, regulated might be a
So there's stuff that we have to follow, and the rules and regulations are there, falls underneath our branch.
And in the resolution, there was some regulation. There was some regulation in there, and I don't think it's up to us to appoint people. I think that the Arts Commission should do a little bit like Discovery Students. Or Margaret Theater, and forgive me because I don't know all the details, but I'm sorry, Anne.
Yeah, I think the people that know this kind of know that
Yes.
be the ones to.
Absolutely.
But I'm just still saying some sort of uplifting, something to get them off the ground.
Exactly.
If needed, if they're.
Maybe we
good
can
to go.
do an arts festival. That's something that we can discuss with Kara. And that.
And
would be
please,
something-
and I'll certainly send an email to, Kara, even at our next tourism meeting, anything that, that comes together, anything that you need, you can always sort of look, to us. And can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, I wanna, I'll try, put in my opinion to what you said. Yeah, that I agree with her. We have Catherine Redden. I mean, she's a phenomenal artist, and she's going to Atlantic General to show her art to all the different places. And her name Doris Williams.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
Oh, Ross White.
Brandon Bell, who went to school with me and Mike, he does, We Are Limitless, I think is the name of his company. He does murals, he's done 2 or 3 big murals inside the building, solitary, as well as lecture box, but the lecture box thing is something that is being looked at by Chop Tank, that they want to start doing all over. Like a lot of these things aren't done by like cities themselves, like Chop Tank started that initiative in Salisbury, and it's something that we need to look into here in Pocomoke. It's like it's a meaning, paint, if the rural, if the electric box is painted, it has something nice to look at it, and then it keeps it from getting defaced as well, because many people do that kind of thing, so. There's definitely avenues to look at, and there's definitely opportunities to look at things, and, my suggestion would be to start with Brandon Bell, because he's done several murals, and he's pretty artistic and fitting on this avenue, and he's received grants and all this type of thing, so. He would know more than anybody, would be the most effective way to get this done.
So art and arts are not the same thing.
Yeah, there's all kinds, there's photography, Donna Clark does excellent photographs. What I wanted to say is like similar to how you did the rec department. All the different things you're doing now for recreationists.
And we're not doing much right now.
Okay, what you have done,
Yeah,
if you ask people to just come together and, hey, why don't you all get together and have a party downtown? They wouldn't know how to formulate it, how to get it together. So you've given it structure. This would need structure. Donna has before shown her photographs and paintings at the vault where it used to be the bank. Another place down there too, at the center down here.
The Discovery Center.
Yeah, they have it there, and then Marlon can even do it too, but you've got incredible artists that are going elsewhere with their paintings to show them. I just want to encourage what she said, to give them a start. It doesn't have to be a government thing, but if we could encourage that, like you encourage people to get together for recreation, encourage them to get together for art, and it could be a festival, it can be a room, like you say, rent a room at the log cabin. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, they just need a little, thing.
And we're willing, I think all of us are willing to.
Just have one thing, just as a thought, get it off my chest. I can't help but think about the Ocean City Arts and Performing. And I only know this because I live next door to the little shack that they started out on 94th Street. And I work at them now with the Performing Arts Center. They literally had a shack next to the dog park. But the city gave them a little bit of, that's what they are. That's it.
Thank you. Good thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the suggestion or the motion.
Wait, vote down the government.
I don't wanna vote it down. I would want to change it once again.
Right, but what was the first motion?
Okay.
So like the second that with the instruction to Michelle, if you would put it on our website.
Yep.
Are you in charge of the Facebook page also, or is Karen?
I'll do that and
Okay.
email
Right out
Karen.
there that the city is encouraging all artists of all forms to reply through email to either council person, their interest and what they would like to see proceed from just the discussion we've had here. It's very encouraging. And then we're not turning this down, but as a council, we always like to be very well informed on what the government issue would be and the involvement in it. We get accused of running the show too much as it is. So if there's a show we can put on that the community can involve themselves in, that would be a better avenue from, I think, our standpoint of view. I'm 150% on this idea. I have no qualm about it at all. My only qualm is the fact the city's involved as a government model.
your sheet share says you're lying.
Yeah. Nobody knows about my cheat sheet. That's all I want. But, so I'm gonna make a motion to second the motion of Mrs. Marsh to table this with the direction to Michelle to publicize it through our social media networks, to encourage the public to respond to the need for an arts council.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor, use the sound aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. The resolution has been tabled.
And just as a point of clarification, so it will. Your anticipation isn't that this will occur at this time, that you'll have back on the agenda. So at that point, it'll be more than 60 days, and the resolution can't be passed more than 60 days per the charter, unless there is consideration is deferred to some specified future date. Would everyone be satisfied with the first meeting in February
Yes.
as the specified future date that you'll vote on this? Or it could be whenever you want, but.
Well, let's give time for the public to respond. And I would encourage everyone that's either listening via live feed or everyone that's in the room tonight, that when this is publicized on our Facebook page and our website, to share it. I mean, it takes a village to get the word out. And the more people share it, the more people will reach. So I encourage everybody to share that information.
Calling all artists.
So the resolution will be reconsidered on the first meeting. Yes. Thank you.
Don't kill it.
We're now gonna move forward to comments from the council.
Quick question, do you want that to include all art forms, like you said, painting, photography?
Word art and arts. Art falls under arts. So arts is singing, it can be dancing, it can be painting, it can be photography, it's a whole array of things that.
So we're doing broad spectrum. Gotcha.
Yeah, and you might get interest in one area and not that maybe or whatever they want. That desire necessary.
So maybe in the posting, it needs to indicate what arts
Yeah.
you would be interested in.
Well, I don't think that we should govern what type of arts it's gonna be.
No, but just so.
No, but you don't want to put a whole bunch of people together that have different ideas on what they're trying to do.
Isn't that what, but wait, isn't that what we all, a whole bunch of people sitting together that have different ideas of what we're
I
trying to do?
understand that, but if somebody wants to paint and has a vision.
Y'all are the same people that are saying we shouldn't govern, we shouldn't govern. But you're saying we shouldn't govern.
We take a recess.
All I'm saying is, these people that show interest in the community, I'm not saying one way or the other, I'm not saying that's what we have to do. I'm simply saying that I'm giving them the opportunity that if they want to only work in painting art, I mean, if somebody's interested in painting, they might not be interested in singing or whatever. There might be enough people that have interest in painting and singing, and those people can work together in their avenues that they relate. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, all I'm saying is we should let them decide.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So there's a lot of events coming up. I'm gonna just say check the Pocomoke City webpage and calendar for events. Want to tell everybody happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody eats a lot of food and it has a lot of things to be thankful for and good things too. It was nice seeing all the kids last week at American Education Week. I know I went in and visited my two kids at elementary school. I didn't get a chance to check out any of the other schools, but I stopped by several classes, so it's, it's always a fun week to go in there and see the little ones learning. Thankful for the teachers and the principals and the staff that we have at Pocomoke Elementary, Middle, and High School. It's a good place to be. And lastly, I just want to give congratulations to all the athletes that participated in fall athletics. The season's over. We had a lot of successful team and individuals, so it's hard to give recognition to everyone. So there's individuals cross country and all that kind of stuff. So I want to congratulate everybody as a whole and wish everybody that we're sports and their tryouts for basketball started this week, I think, or maybe last week, but
Usually the 15th, isn't it?
yeah, so I would tell everybody good luck and hope you all have.
I think, Mr. Holland covered pretty much everything. I also would like to wish everyone involved students and thankful given Thanksgiving, at the government table, or if you're, remembers of these one. That's so.
Just have these things.
Also,
I do wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I would just have to say that I'm very, very grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for all of you that come in and participate in the community. I'm certainly grateful for you. This level of you, so Thanksgiving and look forward to the start of the Christmas season, which will begin the Monday after Thanksgiving with the Christmas parade. I was recently in Salisbury and said I was from Pocomoke, and they said, "Oh my gosh, you have that nighttime parade," which I would know was one of the only ones. So, and always thankful. I'm looking at Chief Pop. I'm very, very thankful for Chief Pop and for our police force and the dedication for putting your lives on the line every single day for all of us. We're thankful for them. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a statement to read. In September, a complaint was filed with the Open Meetings Compliance Board. The complaint alleged 2 violations of the Open Meetings Act against the mayor and council of Pocomoke City, and a violation against the Pocomoke City Planning and Zoning Commission. The 2 allegations against the mayor and council were a meeting of the Pocomoke City Council in violation with Maryland General Provisions Article. Here in General Provisions, SS 3-301 occurred on Monday, September 25th, 2023. Number 2, the notice for the September 27, 2023 work session of the mayor and council of Pocomoke City was improperly amended before the scheduled meeting. Earlier today, the Open Meetings Compliance Board issued an opinion as to the 2 allegations. As to the first allegation, the board found that the council violated SS 3-302B2 of the General Provisions Article by failing to include a start time of the September 22nd, 2023 meeting. And SS 3-301 of the General Provision Article by failing to make it clear to the public that it could attend an open session at which the council vote to enter into closed session. As to the second allegation, the board found that the council did not violate the Open Meetings Act and did not improperly amend the agenda. The allegations against the Planning and Zoning Commission was that the Pocomoke City Planning and Zoning Commission failed to provide proper notice of a meeting on Wednesday, September 27, 2023. In the same opinion released earlier today, the board found that the commission violated SS 3-302A of the General Provision Article by failing to provide adequate notice for the meeting. This statement serves as an announcement of the violations and a summary of the opinions pursuant to the General Provision Article SS 3-211. Thank you. And my only other comment is that I hope to see you all at the Pocomoke City Christmas Parade. And then I hope that you will return that Friday to Meyers Old Fashioned downtown Christmas. Let's bring in the holiday season like only we can in the store. We have the biggest and we have the baddest holiday celebration. We will now move to comments from the audience. Well, we come forward and ask me. Okay.
Resolution, no recess upon.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor, use the sound aye. Those that motion have the same one.
You saw my notes. Yeah. Front and forth. Front and forth, you remember.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. You. Next one. Yeah.
Exciting, huh? Yeah. Yeah. It's good to see you come. Chapter one. Yes, yeah, so, yeah, so, I heard, yeah, so here's the,
You're just. Yeah.
yeah. So it's, I really love Sarah dinner, I like strawberries, yeah. Oh. You saw the place in it. You're the drinking system. Everything I didn't have your house, you know. Okay. You know, you're yeah, I'll keep clear. So. That's 13. This significant community. She don't know that. It's like, should involve me.
Cheers, Kyle. I'll be first with you. It's called. I just had that one.
Sure.
Catherine,
Additional question. Stuff in hard.
Right, okay, now she gonna make me reader. Are you doing?
It's a big.
Will you want to line up English?
Right.
Let's do that. Yeah, it's just a little understand, so you can't answer, so now that's.
So 8 5 7, all those in favor, use the sound document. Was that a motion at the same line? When we left off, we moved into the public comment section of our council meeting. If you have any public comments, please come forward, state your name, and please give your address to the clerk at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Again, Martin Blake. So since it's open, I wanted to speak to the zoning map amendment for 823. I just wanted to touch on that and point out a few key topics that were kind of left out. If you look at the history of the town, you will notice that you have R3 zoning buffers, commercial zone, all throughout the town. Now, this property, we used the term adjacent in the last meeting, but when you look at 820 Second Street, the very next door property is commercial, is the store. When you look at what's behind 820 Second Street, you have those measures too. But you pass it up. When you look at that map, you'll look at the zoning of where R3 buffers commercial, and if you look behind 823 Second Street, is more commercial. On two sides of 823 Second Street, you have commercial zone, and basically, on historically findings, R3 zoning buffers commercial zone. And I'd also like to ask the question or pose the question. I'm not sure how many people live directly in the community, or how many people live in a walking distance to this community per se, and look at the conditions of the neighborhood, look at affordability in the town, because we're pointing to what we say is law. And why did that law come in place? That is never been topic of discussion. And I believe if you look at the reason for an aggressive move, when you look at a lot of other municipalities who have done similar acts, it was always a year only. This move was done aggressively for a purpose. And that purpose was we had a lot of landlords that weren't doing things correctly. And so we made the aggressive move in the town of Copeland and said, okay, 6 months. Now, when you look at this property, all the evidence points to the fact, and we know that it was built this way. The affordability in the town, we have not talked about the homelessness. I mentioned it, but we haven't talked about how many people live in this town in hotels. We haven't talked about that issue. Maybe this is not the forum for it, but if you have a situation where someone is coming in and taking a property of this magnitude that fits all of the building code criteria and say, I can make this affordable for people without displacing, where I won't have to completely gentrify a neighborhood to bring affordable housing here. We can do that here. We have the houses here to do that. Now, I've seen other houses, I've seen other people come in and tear a house up, trying to get as many apartments in there as they can. This is not the case. Now, I don't know how many people have actually visited the site, because what we're talking about what we see in Copeland. But this is a unique case. It's not just a one-off. I think the last time we had a meeting in September, the lawyer said it would bring concern for spot zoning. Now, what we're doing here is a proper procedure. It needs to be done when somebody's trying to make a house a duplex. When we talk about spot zoning, we're talking about something where everything around it is residential. If somebody wants to take the house and say, okay, I'm going to chop this up. This isn't that. And the reason this isn't that, but as we have said, and Mr. Dan Brandui presented in the first meeting, R3 zoning buffers commercial zoning, historically speaking. Now, I've touched on the history of why the law came into effect. I've touched on the affordability. Have we looked at median incomes? Have we looked at this neighborhood from 6th Street down to Clark? And who lives there? We can afford to live there. And I think we're not thinking about that when we're making a decision. We're just saying, okay, this is what the law is. What about the people? And I feel like if you forget about the citizen, there's no need to even be on the council when you forget about the people that you're supposed to be here and care about. So, in making this decision, again, I don't know if you've already made it, I'm not used to council meetings, so I'm not sure if that's been done. But let's really look at the citizens. Let's really look at the children that stay in, oh, what is it, the hotel? So many kids, as an educator, that stay in hotels, because their parents can't afford rent.
We all know.
How much homelessness in this area? And we're not focused on that struggle. What we're focusing on is the law. And sometimes it's time for change. And when it's time for change, the people in the places need to make that change. You need to look at special cases. And this is a unique case. This isn't a house that is surrounded by other smaller residential houses that they're trying to convert to that. This is a house that buffers commercial. This is a house that is surrounded by other duplexes. The very house next door on that commercial lot, that commercial property, is also mixed use. It's commercial, it's the store, it's the corner store. And attached to that, on the same lot, is a duplex house. Across the street, we use the term adjacent. I'm gonna say across the street is another duplex property. And all of this, when you look at that map and you look at where this property is located, this is the house. I'm gonna go layman's term. This is the house, duplex, commercial, duplex, commercial. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a unique situation that fell under an ordinance that was done because of things that were going wrong in the city. So this is a necessary procedure, but you have to look at it on a case by case instance. You cannot say, okay, well, this is all law, this is it. Because then what happens when you replace all these citizens? What happens when these people don't have a place to live? And now you have crime running rapid. And this guy has to look at it every day.
Mr. Bailey, unfortunately, when we think about it, I hear what you're saying about meeting with the citizens, but there was only one citizen that submitted anything either way for this ordinance or resolution. It was one person.
Right.
Mr. Haney was the only person. We did have a public hearing. This has come up multiple times.
Right.
Am I disappointed in the council's decision? Yes, but that is their decision.
Right.
And Mr. Holland even made a comment that said, listen, we've got new people on the planning and zoning commission. He's not opposed to it going back. So we're trying to throw daggers and tell them that they're not adequately listening to the citizens and they're not, they have to meet the people and things. We gotta chill them.
I apologize. I didn't even throw daggers. It was just my family's familiar. I understand the struggles. That's all that was, just a heartfelt, I understand the struggles. And I just wanted to look at
Sir, pardon on that, but you made the comment that the council didn't care about their citizens.
Oh, I didn't say that directly. That was, you may have inferred that, but like, it's not that we didn't care about the citizens, that we have to look at that and from a broad spectrum.
You don't think that we do that?
Right. And the only reason I'm saying that is because when that house that needs more than $100,000 renovation, if you look at what the mortgage rates are, that rent's gonna be $1,800 if it's a single family. Who can afford that? And that's my point. It's not that meaning to throw daggers. What I'm saying is I understand affordability. I'm studying from Columbia University. I'm studying from Wharton University in finance. So I can understand the financial aspect of it. I just look like this. And so what I'm saying is,
Good.
thank you. So I do apologize. And I do apologize to you as well, man. If anything I said was offensive, it's just that,
I'll just show you, I'm actually the council person,
Mhm.
and I live down the street,
Right,
and we had a situation. I'm gonna say in December, where there was another home for multifamily,
right.
and I know it was 6 people.
Mhm.
In this district, right down the street from there,
Right.
who were opposed to it.
Right.
There are actually 2 multifamily homes on my block.
Right.
Okay, one of them, both of them are not fully occupied.
Right.
So there are units that are available. And I have gone and I've looked at the property. And I will share with you, I know in the planning and zoning, it was mentioned that the home was too large for anyone to live independently in it. And it's actually smaller. than the house I live in with dog. So, you know, there are different considerations, and I have to say, I agree with Mr. Haney about the property values.
Right.
And I am very, very concerned about the property values here. And fortunately, the property values most recently have been going up. And as far as the children go, okay, I mean, I heard mention of the children, and I mentioned it to someone who is opposed to it, who is just a couple houses down from it. And their response to me was, that is not an area for children to be brought up in.
Well, see, that's the thing. Now, see, that's where the line gets crossed by people saying it's not the area for children. This whole town needs to be the area for children to be caught up in. And I feel like that's the point that they've been trying to make this whole time. They want to transform that area and they want to start with that property. But let's be clear, where you live and where this property is, it's on the same street, but it's two different neighborhoods. It's two different neighborhoods. And unfortunately, that neighborhood fell many, many, many years ago. I remember when it was safe to walk down Wall Street and go to the corner store and get a bacon cheeseburger and a soda and go back home. I remember when it was safe. It's time for us to start thinking about that. If we don't transform even the roughest parts of this town, we're never gonna get it anywhere.
No one's saying you don't transform it, but I personally, as a resident, I'm opposed to it.
Okay, I understand.
Being outside of even a council person, just as a resident, I'm opposed.
Also,
You're, no, you're,
I didn't vote with them, I voted because I felt, you know, once it was a multi-family, structure. And I guess I was looking at it from an individual situation. Families do need affordable housing. And that's why I voted in favor. If you have somebody come into your community that want to transform houses and make them look better, make your community look better, why not support them? So that's my reason for voting against the three of, you know.
and I respect.
And that's why I did it, because I know that a lot of families cannot afford, I mean, if they put it up for sale or if they rented it out and nobody's rent is higher than mortgages.
Where?
It is, and to be able to have two families there, looking in a nice house, it'll help your community, and that's why I voted.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't their fault that it took, the house was empty for 6 months. They're coming in town to fix it up, to fix up the house. I mean, that's.
I never even knew that. I never even knew that the house was empty. Because every day when you drive past, you so I'm like,
When I went by and looked at the property, I was surprised that the property,
Right.
like,
They're
like,
there.
this is not, I don't understand this.
scared the mom said, in order to do this, you can out somewhere. You know, something has to happen. Because this gentleman could literally just let it sit there and rot, just like it's done. It's been sitting there. I don't want to say collecting dust, but it's definitely collecting people. It's like 2 or 3 hanging out. And now on a Friday night, it's jam packed. I mean, they're not doing anything illegal. I mean, they're trespassing.
Yeah.
That I see. They're not doing anything illegal that I see. But it's dark when I'm riding through there.
Right.
But something has to change.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, man, and, you know, property values that she talked about, just to touch on that. If you look at a lot of the recent listings that have been in Pocomoke that have been for sale, if you look at the realtor's name, it's me, and I've been holding firm to prices. Like where investors were coming and buying these things for $10,000, buying lots of them for $5,000. I've been holding it firm because I know the value here. So when you look at property values rising in that targeted area, I've been a realtor record for the majority, over 20 some listings. and pushing the price when these guys are coming in, so I'll give you 3,000 for that. No, because this town is more valuable for that. So I've kind of been on the forefront when it comes to change. And because of the construction management that I'm privy to a lot of the land development deals and how the town is growing on the outskirts. But when you look at those price points, your citizens from 6th Street down, they can't afford those price points to go out there. And then when you look at the condition of a lot of these other houses, people aren't gonna want to live in some of those other duplexes. I've seen these guys. I've denied to represent some of these guys as their realtor. Somebody gave me $1 million package. And I had it listed and I started writing about this house. I told him no. And this was a couple years ago. And I told him no, I refuse. We had a disagreement and I will not represent you with this type of property. So I've been on the forefront, and as I've grown over time, I'm seeing it happen. And I'm just trying to bring guys in, go through the values, make sure I'm gonna get it right. My father's spirit, so my father's family. So I'm just trying to make sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Council, Mayor, I just want to talk about the law, and how laws change. I think, I'm being prevented from, turning this property back into its original state because of the new law. But again, you guys have a moratorium on marijuana, correct? That's a topic that even wouldn't have been a topic 10 years ago because of the change. I'm disappointed because I'm trying to do everything the right way. And you guys begin your sessions with, doing the right thing, how your citizens and, according to the word of God. I'm just really, really disappointed because in turning this property back into its original state and being able to provide housing for, affordable housing for families, I don't see anything wrong. I really don't. I mean, and I purchased this property on September 29th, and I've been trying to get started ever since. I think I'm being impacted by the law and the fact that this property was not habitable for 14 years. I mean, I'm literally got the money to get started today. And because of a small governing body, potentially the planning commission, because that's the one who started this, who said no, it's impacting the development. And honestly, when you're talking about property value, look at the property value now in its current state. How is that impacting the neighborhood? If we're not just talking about the citizens and you're only talking about the property value, how is the property value now? How is it impacting what's going on in that street right now? I'm not gonna rehab it with old wood. How is it impacting? If that is your stance, how is it impacting the neighborhood right now? And I want to ask the 3 council members that denied the request.
I've already stated my opinion. This is also a comment session. This is not a question and answer session, but I've actually very, very grateful to you.
No, I'm
entitled.
you are not small town politics.
I also read a comment from a resident.
Let me just say this. I also understand small town politics and how phone calls can happen. And although I don't know all of the players, but the mayor, that man wrote the letter. He didn't even live on the block.
It's a different.
He didn't live on the block. And again, I'm not seeing. I mean, my frustration is that I'm trying to do everything the right way. This is supposed to be Maryland's friendliest town. Like, I don't feel welcome.
Just to clarify, I didn't speak about property value.
You did, but
Number 2, you can get louder, it's not gonna change my. It's not gonna change.
I'm just talking about passion. We're missing the point. We're missing the point. The important one. You are not talking. That's my tone. You're missing the point.
Mr. Johnson, what I would suggest you do is I would suggest you speak with Councilmember Holland and Councilwoman Trost after the council.
No problem.
Okay?
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I don't need to, I'll give them the opportunity to hear me out now.
If higher, we won't speak.
I agree with Mr. Hahn when he spoke this before. Personally, I did not mention property value, and personally, I did not like to be yelled at. Second, he mentioned, and I agree with him, that you can bring this back before the Planning and Zoning Commission. There are new members, there may be a different outlook, it can go through the process again. We have a Planning and Zoning Commission to guide the council. If we don't support their decisions, why do we have a commission to start with? I was at that meeting, I understood why they did what they did. I welcome you to the city, I'm glad that you're going to come in here and rehab homes. There is a need for affordable housing.
But if you
Sir,
were at that.
I am speaking.
No,
I am.
Listen, you guys are missing the point. You really missing the point, and we're having a conversation, we're having a conversation.
Let's do the conversation when you keep interrupting the person speaking.
Planning is very. Fine. It's not, we don't control this planning and zoning there, that power is known by the state of Maryland. And furthermore, I've been in this town my entire life, I don't have to live on any particular street to care about. I don't care where I live in this town, I love every part of this town and everybody in this town. And insinuate anything other than that, I will take offense.
Can I speak now, Mr. Howard?
You've been speaking the whole time, man.
Can I speak now? Can I speak now?
Sure.
So if you were at that meeting, the position that the Planning and Zoning Committee took was that this property was purchased well over 6 months ago. If you were at that Planning and Zoning Committee meeting, you knew that the body that purchased the property, the Planning and Zoning Committee thought that was FS Titus. The Planning and Zoning Committee didn't even realize that the property was purchased by B1 Group for Properties on September 29th. The position that the Planning and Zoning Commission took was that the property had been purchased and had been sitting by the purchaser, by the wrong purchaser, for more than 6 months.
It was clarified by Mr. Brandy when you came to them the council that those restrictions went with the property, not with the buyer. So that's kind of moved. Who owned the property at the time? If I recall, the restrictions are based on the property deal. We've made our decision, and I welcome you to appeal the decision made by the Planning and Zoning Commission and go forward with that. Thank you.
Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion has been verbally made and seconded. All those in favor, you say aye. Those that oppose, yes, it's fine. Have a great night, everyone.
You take pictures. Take pictures and you can send them down to see that. Yeah, right now.
Just it's
Better than